Welcome everyone to another expansion team episode. Today it is the off season, it's free agency and the draft. It's a big chance for us to get better and improve after winning our very first division title. Could not get any wins in the playoffs, but we continue to get better and maybe solve the big quarterback question this time. So let's see what our solution could be. Let's quickly look at the draft order. The Jets pick first overall. For us, after winning the division, we are at 25, so maybe out of reach to get a top quarterback. But we're going to look at the draft class in a second. First, many new teams hired new stuff, and same for us. I was not planning to do that, but I forgot to extend Louis Lewis, our defensive coordinator. Couldn't find him anymore, but I found a better one, Russell Graff. He has been the Raiders head coach. It says defensive coordinator here, but I'm pretty sure he was the head coach for the Raiders. Got fired actually and was actually the best defensive coordinator out there. With the strategy, I guess he could also coach offense. But I wanted to have him as a defensive coordinator. I really like his flexibility. That could be something really important in case we're not sticking to his defensive preferences. And from my experience, flexibility is a key personality rating for defensive coordinators. Leadership also great development. So let's see. I mean, could also develop into the head coach maybe for the future. But not the focus right now. The focus is his defensive preferences. I won't change anything here, but it helps to directly see it. I mean, you can translate basically everything from the text it says here, but that helps for a quick overview. The key defensive position is cornerback, and that totally fits our defense. We have really good cornerbacks. And for the rest, a mixed preference is actually not too bad. I'm not a big fan of a 3-3-5 defensive scheme, but only one defensive tackle, which is really good because, I mean, we only have Fletcher Cox. So a great defensive coordinator signing for us. Quickly looking at the depth chart and needs, we need, of course, backups. We could use a true number one wide receiver. We have some promising players, but we could really use a number one. William Childs actually getting better and better, so maybe after the training camps, he could directly be our number one. Quarterback, the biggest question mark. Desmond Ridder, not the best year for him last year after winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. He had 20 interceptions, only 15 touchdowns, yards, not that good, but we need to remember that the season only has 14 games, but 20 interceptions really not that good. Same for the QB rating. So we need to look out for a veteran solution in free agency or the draft. So we need to check who's available. And defensively, as I said, we only have Fletcher Cox as a defensive tackle. He is also not getting younger, so we could also that's the wrong player. We could also look for a solution here. Still on a pretty big contract. 84 overall, not the best season last year. Only 2 sacks, not good. And edge rushers, we drafted Will Anderson last year. Also for him, not the best year with only 1 sack, but maybe he's able to improve, have a best or better second year. Let's see about that. And cornerback, our key position. Don't really remember who left the team here. Did someone retire? not sure, but I was pretty sure we had 390 overall. But yeah, still Marcus Peters 91, Mike Hughes 90, and CJ Henderson 81. Pretty good. Could use some backups here. Safety also great, so I'm really happy with our defense. So, I mean, the biggest question mark is quarterback, and that should also be our focus for the offseason, for free agency, and for the draft. I already made some offers, and as you can see in a second, if it's loading. Now, I made an offer to Tom Brady. Well, he's really good. 94 overall, 100 intelligence, and as you might know after the Houston Texans rebuild series, I'm a big fan of quarterbacks with intelligence, and his personal value is only 11 money, so we could maybe steal him. Made an offer for just under 20 million. Let's see if that works out. John Johnson, I mean, lots of good players, and also here 3 players who are not that good. I want to sign them as a backup, and they also have awesome personality ratings. I love that here in free agency you could not only filter by ratings but also by personality, and yeah, I mean, they are really good in teamwork and or work ethic. So let's take a shot at some younger players and see if someone actually signs here. So let's complete the first free agency round. No signings. We're not in the lead for Tom Brady. The Patriots want to have him. Well, that sounds familiar. Also not in the lead for Lavonte David and John Johnson. What are the Patriots doing? I mean, they're looking for big offers, but I'm willing to increase my offer for Tom Brady, Lavonte David, and John Johnson. We need to sign someone if we want to get better. So I increased the offers for those 3 players. Let's see if we are successful. And no, Patriots signed John Johnson for 1 year, 15 million. That's unfortunate for us, but now we are in the lead for Tom Brady and many other players, but not for Evans or David. I just increased the offer for Evans, but not willing to offer more for Lavonte David. He's old. Still no signings. No one wants to sign with us, but we're in the lead for most players. Also don't want to get higher here for Evans. Many players in the mix. Let's continue today. And we signed a new punter and a backup guard. Not the priorities I had, to be honest, but well, fine, I guess. Let's go with the final free agency round. Before scouting, we need someone to sign with us, and we have Kenny Moore. That's really cool. Slot cornerback, really good one. 11 million per year. I'm happy with that. 0 interceptions in the last 2 years. That's not good, but let's see if he can make an impact for us. Also a backup cornerback with a really good work ethic and competitiveness. And we also signed another backup cornerback. Same here. Also great personality. But that means that we did not sign Tom Brady, but no one else did. And there's still many good players available. But first, we need to deal with scouting. So let's take a quick look at the draft sheet. According to our scouts, Anthony Richardson is the best player in the draft. The problem is, and I'm pretty sure I already said that in the college update, I'm not really sure how he would fit our scheme. He seems to have the best arm in the class. I mean, we have Caleb Williams here, who I thought could be a generational quarterback. Only decent arm. Anthony Richardson unique. In terms of intelligence, both are comparable. and accuracy, Caleb Williams is better. And underdeveloped for Anthony Richardson does not sound really good. Our offense still is a yeah, short passing offense where we need quarterbacks with awesome intelligence and accuracy. So Anthony Richardson might not be the best choice. Exceptional speed is, I mean, that's great. And it could be that he's actually the best player in the draft. Olu Fashanu we have here as a tackle. Not surprisingly, he played a great season. Best tackle in the college game. Caleb Williams, of course, both top 10 players. And I won't say that they are out of reach because everything is on the table. We could trade up. I mean, I'm willing to spend next year's first round pick or even more. We need quarterback, and we did not get Tom Brady so far in free agency. And I don't really know if I would or I want to risk it to sign him after that. Problem is, he would also earn more than 25 million, I assume, after not agreeing our 22 million offer. So then we're out of cap. We need to release someone, and we don't have any space for our draft players. So getting a young and cheap quarterback might not be the best, not the worst solution, actually. Tyler Van Dyke could also be an option. Only acceptable intelligence here. We also have DJ Uyangalele. Same here. Also, I mean, intelligence even worse. So not sure if we should do that. Casey Case. You remember him from the Senior Bowl. Might be an option. Average intelligence, underdeveloped arm, average accuracy. I mean, we know his college ratings. He was pretty average in all three of them. Could be a case, and he's projected to go undrafted, so we could also spend a late round pick on him. Would not be the worst solution. Also, Raheem Jarrett, someone I have in mind, mainly because of the Senior Bowl. He was really good because of his speed. Seems to be, is that speed? No, speed is in this column. So seems to be below average, but I mean, he looked really good in the Senior Bowl. So undrafted, we could take a flyer also on him. 6th or 7th round. So let's keep Casey Case and Raheem Jarrett in mind. And other than that, I have no idea who else to draft. Cornerback, we don't really need one. Wide receiver, Keishon Booty, round 1, maybe, but I want to draft a quarterback. So we could be, no, also Tyler Van Dyke in top 10. I would say let's stick with the strategy to see if someone's available at the end of the top 10. I mean, could be that one of those 3 top 10 quarterback actually falls out of top 10, and then we might be able to draft him. I cannot trade up to first overall. I mean, that would be way too much effort. Would it? Let's quickly try. All right, New York Jets. Let's see what we could do for the first overall pick. 2 second rounders. No. 2 first rounders. Sorry, 3 first rounders. A lot more. Maybe a second round pick. Close. But I don't want to spend 3 first round picks just to trade up to 1 without even knowing which of those quarterbacks. I still believe Caleb Williams would be the best one for us. But last year I also thought Will Anderson is the best player in the draft. We traded up for him and he was an 82 overall, played not the best season. Well, no, let's don't do first overall. Let's start with the draft and see if maybe Caleb Williams falls. But looking at the scouting, I mean, intelligence, as I said, is a really important stat for me. I also made a video about what the combine stats about intelligence actually tell you. And I mean, let's only look at quarterback because that's important right now. For Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson, we know because of the Wonderlic score is higher than 40 that both intelligence ratings are above 80. If you want to know why I know that, just go back and watch my Wonderlic score video. But it is above 80, and that's really good. Casey Case, 38. That means that his rating is above 70, no, 75, if I'm not mistaken, but not necessarily above 80. We only know for Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson that it is above 80. Let's look at Anthony Richardson, 33.8 grade. Really, really good. Also really good intangibles. Caleb Williams, 39.8. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And don't know if that's a point for negotiations. Values money only 8, so we could get him cheaper for an extension. Anthony Richardson also only very, very low. I guess that's because we connected it with the college game. I don't know. Did not pay attention about that in the college game. But yeah, let's figure that out and see if there's someone in reach for us to draft. Welcome to the draft. The Jets need a kicker and defensive tackle. Well, I assume they don't draft a kicker. Defensive tackle might be on the board for them, so let's see. They go with Jaquelin Roy from LSU, first overall pick. Yeah, not bad to draft a defensive tackle. Bad to draft a 68 overall one. Seahawks go with McKinley Jackson, also another defensive tackle. That's the thing. The teams go mainly with position of need and not value. That's something I don't really like about the draft. Steelers are taking Evan Anderson, another defensive tackle. Honestly, that's kind of annoying. Giants, I already saw that, also need defensive tackle, but also quarterback. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, in this draft, there would be Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at position 1. Not necessarily for the Jets because they drafted Bryce Young, but it would be nice if another team trades up or something like that. Also, the Seahawks drafted Will Levis in the last draft, so also understandable that they don't take a quarterback. But again, it would be nice if other teams trade up. With that said, the first team that needs a quarterback. Who is the first quarterback off the board? It is Anthony Richardson. Whoa, and he's an 84 overall. Awesome personality. I mean, we knew that. We interviewed him. 88 speed, 94 arm, 84 intelligence. He is really, really good. Not good for our scheme, to be honest, but I mean, he's a really, really good player. Great pick for the Giants. And honestly, in reality, they could also draft Anthony Richardson. Would be a really cool fit. I mean, let's be real, he's just better than Daniel Jones. Emphasis on better. But great pick for the Giants. And with that, there is still Tyler Van Dyke and also Caleb Williams here. Tyler Van Dyke actually projected to go earlier than Caleb Williams. Let's see what the Texans are doing. They need defensive tackle, and honestly, that's just annoying. Yeah, another defensive tackle. I don't know if I did something wrong with importing the draft class. Maybe defensive tackles are too worse, and that's why every team needs a defensive tackle. And there goes Tyler Van Dyke. 81 overall, did not pay attention whether the Bears needed a quarterback or not. He's also good. Not necessarily also the best for our scheme because intelligence 71. I like to have someone who's better there. So Tyler Van Dyke. And now the Falcons don't see the needs. I don't know if they need a quarterback or not. No, they drafted actually what I say is the best tackle in this draft. Olu Fashanu, 80 overall, great strength, great pass and run blocking. Really good pick for them. Chiefs don't need a quarterback, I'm pretty sure. Also Titans, not so good to know. They're going with Arik Gilbert. I mean, that's a really cool fit. Imagine him learning from Travis Kelce. He is such a freak athletically. Also here, really good speed and agility. Strength could be better. The worrying part about him is that at Georgia, he's only tight end number 3. Does not mean too much playing behind Washington and the freak Brock Bowers, who actually did not declare for the draft. I mean, could have said that earlier. Brock Bowers still 1 year in college. Same for Marvin Harrison Jr. That's why you did not see those 2 players on my radar. Could be an option for next year. But Arik Gilbert here, actually top 10 pick. Really surprised by that. 72 overall. Titans also don't need a quarterback. They're going with Colin Oliver, the first edge rusher. Also not too bad, but 75 for a top 10 pick. Not the best. Eagles are taking DJ Uiagalelei. So he is above Caleb Williams. That's really weird. 76 overall. I still think Caleb Williams is better because we know for 100% Caleb Williams' intelligence is above 80. Do the Panthers need a quarterback? I don't see it. Let's quickly go to the trade screen. I don't want to do this mistake again. I'm willing to trade up for them. Baker Mayfield, 85 overall. I don't want to risk it. Let's make a trade with the Panthers. So, first round pick, second round pick should not be enough. Yeah, a lot more. What about a third round pick? Still want to keep my next year's first round pick if possible. Looking for a lot more. What about players? Who do we have? Corner looks pretty good. So do you want to have CJ Henderson back? But he's also really good. I mean, we could just trade away Kenny Moore again because he's just a little bit better than CJ Henderson and a lot more expensive. Maybe without the third rounder. With the third rounder? No, still looking for a lot more. A fourth rounder? I don't know. Still looking for a lot more. What about we're trading away our next year's first and getting a next year's second round pick in return? Might that be an option? Still a lot more. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe again with Kenny Moore. Oh, the deal is closed. So we might have something here. I'm still willing to trade away Kenny Moore. I mean, that sounds crazy. We just signed him in free agency. But we have CJ Henderson, and I was not expecting that both backup corners signed. So what about a fourth round pick this year? And we have a trade. So we traded away our first round pick this and next year to get pick number 11, traded also away a fourth round pick and Kenny Moore. I think this might be reasonable. Of course, we don't have a first round pick next year in a draft class where we have Marvin Harrison Jr. and we have Brock Bowers. But with 2 second round picks, maybe we can make something happen. Yeah, let's think about that next year. But first, I mean, let's draft Caleb Williams. So we are now on the clock. We traded up 13 spots, gave up a lot, but I think it might be worth it. Let's see. I mean, we could also draft someone else, but Caleb Williams is our selection, quarterback from USC. Pretty good overall. And I mean, yeah, personality could be better, but I first and foremost I care about the stats. Let's hope that he is good. And he is an 87 overall. Wow. Perfect pick for us. 86 intelligence. I mean, I know that it was above 80. Personality could be a little bit better. 8 money is nice, but we have him on contract for the next 6 years with 6 million. He's only 20 years old, so I'm so excited to have Caleb Williams here. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He is really good. Trade Film Geek, so could be nice. I don't know, but I imagine that might help him to further improve his intelligence and have a good tape preparation. I don't know what it actually does, but we have our quarterback, and now we have solved the biggest problem on our team. There goes another quarterback. Rams take Will Rogers. We also considered him, I guess. Yeah, Mississippi State. He was one of the seniors we had in mind, but of course, I mean, Caleb Williams way better selection. We have Jace McClellan, the first running back, 81 overall. The Raiders are taking Brandon Jackson, another edge rusher. Wow, that's cool. The Niners take Noah Sewell. Imagine Noah Sewell together with Fred Warner as a linebacker. 74 overall, not that bad. Washington go with BJ Ojulari, another edge rusher. Browns are taking Ray Thornton. By the way, I'm not looking at the draft board because I don't want to consider moving up again. Davon Achane to the Jaguars. I mean, they already have an explosive running back, so don't know what they are doing, but Achane, first round pick actually. Saints taking Kayshon Boutte, and well, they take LSU player. That's cool to know that Kayshon Boutte stays at least in the area of where he played college. So he's a Saint, 82 overall. So actually the third best player I've seen in the draft, fourth best. Not really sure, but really good pick here at 20. Could have been an option for us, but trading up, giving up an insane amount of draft capital, but drafting Caleb Williams, of course, nice. Christian Gonzalez might be in consideration for the top cornerback actually in reality for this year's draft. Here the Vikings get a steal at 21, really good ratings, and really good personality as well. So great pick. Cowboys are taking Keelan Carson, 81 overall corner, so he's actually better than Gonzalez here. Colts are taking Zach Gibson, another quarterback. Also, we had him in mind, right? Georgia Tech, I think he was also one I highlighted during the college updates. Ravens are taking Jersean Newton, edge rusher. Don't know if I pronounce his name right. Panthers, we traded with them. Could have been our selection. They are going with Demar Tate from Florida State. Not the worst pick, actually. Really good personality. So maybe a win-win for both. And Panthers also have a first-round pick next year. And with Baker Mayfield, 85 overall, don't even know if they would have considered drafting Caleb Williams. And again, in a perfect game, with the perfect draft logic, Caleb Williams would be a top 5 player actually, and not 4 defensive tackles in the top 5. Nothing we can do about that. Here goes another bad defensive tackle. I don't know if we ever going to be in a position to draft a defensive tackle. Mario Williams, wow, also really good. 80 overall wide receiver. Awesome work ethic and competitiveness. Great pickup here for the Cardinals. The Bengals are taking a tight end, Terrence Ferguson from Oregon. Not the best selection. Packers go with Cade McNamara, the backup quarterback from J.J. McCarthy, who should be in the draft next year. But here, 74 overall. Is he the backup then for Aaron Rodgers, or did he retire? I assume he retired, otherwise we would have him in the free agency, if I remember correctly. And to round up for the first round, oh no, actually, we have 33 teams. Buccaneers lost the Super Bowl, and now to round up the first round, the Bills are taking strong safety. So let's go to the next human pick. Let's take a quick look. Who got drafted? Any notable players? Blaylock, 77 overall. In the draft sheet, he was a top 5 player, so actually not that far away. 77 is not bad for a wide receiver. Darian Chestnut, 80 overall cornerback. So the Panthers, not so bad. Trading back and also now drafting a second corner. Did they already draft one? Not sure. Will Shipley, running back, 76 overall for the Chiefs. And Emil Ekiyor, 77 overall. I assume he would be the best guard of the draft. And let's look at our option at for our second round selection. Don't really know if I want to draft anyone. Let's be honest. I'm not sure there are any good players here. Also looking at my scouting sheet, Dominic Blaylock already got drafted. J.J. Roberts, the cornerback, is already gone, but we also don't need a corner. Mitchell, the defensive tackle, I don't need to look for him. All defensive tackles are away. Let's trade away the second round pick. I mean, then having 3 second round selections, or we could we maybe, no, not with the Bills. The Packers lost in the Super Bowl, right? And they lost Aaron Rodgers, so they might be bad. Are we able to somehow get their first round selection for next year? Second round pick and a third round pick. I mean, I don't have any targets left this draft. We could get their first round selection. A lot more. Maybe next year's 4th? No, still a lot more. Next year's 3rd? Still a lot more. What about next year's 2nd? Then without the third round selection? I assume our second round pick to be really high. Okay, third round selection. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to happen. Then let's only do a second round pick. Shall we? Let me think. No, I'm not giving up a lot picks just to trade up potentially into round 1 without even knowing if the Packers are good. So let's stick second round pick, and maybe get next year's 4th back. Okay, maybe a 6th round pick. It's close, so maybe nothing. They need a tad more, so Jaguar 7th round pick. And yeah, now we have 3 second round picks next year. No first round picks, so we might be able to trade up next year. We still have the option to trade for the Packers first round pick, but let's go to our next selection and quickly check if we missed anyone. Notably, the Packers drafted a 76 overall cornerback. There goes another QB, Shane Illingworth, 70 overall. Isaac Rex, tight end, 62, not too good. Other than that, yeah, I don't really know. That was a good edge rusher on the board, I remember, but only 68 overall, so not too bad to miss out here. Third round selection, what should we do? Should we trade it away or should we draft anyone here? We could just take the best tackle here in the draft, or who's still available. Great personality. Intangibles are really good. Pass and run blocking does not seem to be good. Agility is nice. Strength, not really. But yeah, personality wise, he's a. I mean, no flags. I have honestly no idea. Let's go with Cameron Wire, the tackle. We could use a backup here. Let's see if he's good enough. 69 overall. Yeah, I mean, for a backup, could hopefully develop into something. We have him on a 4-year contract, so not too bad. Let's go to our next pick. Oh yeah, I forgot we we traded that away. We are now in the 5th round. And I mean, is KZK still here? Yes. He's projected to go undrafted, but I mean, we're in the 5th round, so no one really cares. Let's go with KZK. I want to have him on the team. He was quite good in the season, quite good in the Senior Bowl, and a decent backup here. I mean, awesome personality, 69 overall. He's okay, I would say. Let's go to the next pick. The other player I have in mind is Rakeem Jarrett, also outstanding Senior Bowl performance. Still available here. Let's draft him. Hopefully also in the 70s. 78. That's really good. 83 speed. Not the best hands, which is of course not really good for us. Only on a 2-year contract. And now let's go to our final pick to round out the draft. We need a center if I'm not mistaken. He looks okay in terms of run blocking, pass blocking, not really good. Work ethic is outstanding. Did not scout him. What about the center our head coach wants to have, Drake Nugent? No. Seems not to be the best one. So let's go with the best center available, I guess. I mean, the work ethic is nice, so why not? We're in the 7th round. We cannot do too many mistakes. 73 overall. That's actually pretty good. So let's finish the draft. Or do we still have a pick? I don't think so. No. Pretty good draft overall, I would say, in my opinion. We, of course, gave up a lot also of next year's capital to move up to draft our future, I mean, hopefully not only future, but also current franchise quarterback, Caleb Williams. And now we have lots of quarterbacks here on the market. I want to trade Desmond Ridder. He has still 1 year left. Don't know if there is much we could get out of him. So let's take a look at the rookies. Not many selections, only 5 selections. The best, of course, Caleb Williams, 87 overall. Could be borderline generational, and I'm pretty happy with the selection. And now, I mean, the question would be, would you rather have all those picks and maybe spend this pick on an 82 overall Kayshon Boutte, for example, and sign Tom Brady for 1 or 2 years? Or did what I just did, to gave up a lot to trade up for Caleb Williams? Write it in the comments. So would you rather have the scenario with Caleb Williams or the scenario with Tom Brady? Well, we will most likely never know because I drafted Caleb Williams. Also, Rakeem Jarrett, great selection in the 6th round. So actually really good for us. Good backup center. Another decent quarterback selection. Let's be real, I drafted him because of his name and his Senior Bowl performance. And maybe the worst selection, our 3rd round tackle, but great personality. So overall, I cannot really complain. Honestly, this team is crazy. We still have 15 million left to spend in free agency. I'm going to do that in the next episode, of course, since this episode already took some time. But just a quick look at our current offense. Caleb Williams, I mean, that's really cool. 11 points better than Desmond Ridder. I'm going to trade him also next episode or off camera, but this offense is crazy. We still might need a wide receiver one, but other than that, O-line is still awesome. We need to pay those guys, but that's also something we care about in the next couple of episodes. Running back still, Bijan Robinson, totally forgot about him. But the offense is crazy, crazy good. I mean, it should be crazy good. Same for the defense, especially with cornerback now being the most important position for our defensive coordinator. We have Mike Hughes, we have Marcus Peters and CJ Henderson. We had Kenny Moore for 1 second, but traded him away. I think that's still fine because we have some developmental cornerbacks in Devin Coles, great work ethic on a long-term deal. I assume he's going to get to an 80 overall. And we also have here Jeremy Lucien, and also on a long-term deal, great team player and leadership, so he can be a strong force for us in the locker room. 72 overall, pretty happy. Could upgrade defensive tackle, but since the whole league needs defensive tackles, not sure this is going to happen. But our team is in a great position to finally win some playoff games. But first, free agency is still not finished yet. There are some players. We have 15 million left to spend. So we could go for one great player who helps us maybe on linebacker. I don't know. This is going to be something we figure out in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed the draft. As I said, write down in the comments if you would have done the same to trade up to get Caleb Williams, or if you would rather have drafted someone else and signed Tom Brady. Would be an interesting debate, but for now, I'm so thrilled to have Caleb Williams, our hopefully franchise quarterback, here in Germany, in Munich. Let's see how next season is going to be. Thank you for watching and have a great week. Bye bye.